Hi guys, it's the Heart Pirates TCG here, and I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a different style of tier list. It's just going to be the decks I think are going to be the most relevant in tournament settings, in the competitive gameplay, and what I think about them, and their best matchups from what I've been testing and seeing, and I'll just go over some things that I think are interesting techs and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit of a tier list, more of just like a meta analysis. So that's what this video is going to be. So be sure to like and comment on the video if you want to see more of this, and then subscribe to see more content of One Piece in general. So real quick though, guys, I will be streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, and just stop in if you want to check out some sim gameplay and whatnot. But let me go ahead and go over the tiers that I'm going to be having real quick. It's without a doubt, decks that are without a doubt going to be in the top levels of play and going to see a lot of representation. Then you have high upside decks that probably won't see a lot of representation but are still gonna be very dangerous in tournaments. And then you have rogue, probably a deck that'll sneak into top 16 at a treasure cup or regionals. And then not sure just yet, I'm gonna give a couple of these decks that category just because I'm not sure where they're gonna fit in the meta. So I'll start out with 3 cards from the without a doubt, and that is going to be Zoro, that is going to be Katakuri, and that is going to be Lucci. So these 3 decks right now, I'll talk about them in bulk, are without a doubt some of the best decks in the meta, right? And that's because Zoro did not lose a single card. It got even better with another searcher, with Izo, with Buggy if you're playing that version. There's just a lot of different things you can do with Zoro, and you can play the weenie version, like without a doubt. Like nothing's changed with Zoro, and it was one of the best decks last format, so it's still going to be one of the best decks this format. Then you have Katakuri, which it has a very high skill ceiling. Without a doubt, you will see it at a lot of tournaments. You'll see it at the top tables, you'll see it everywhere. It's also just a fun deck to play, so people will like it. And then Lucci is very strong because it can play a bunch of different engines inside of the deck. I actually posted on my Discord. I'll put the link if you guys want to join in my Discord below in the description, but I posted my deck list in the Discord, and like a lot of people and a couple people actually liked it, and so they wanted to try it out. I won probably 10 straight with that deck list. It's really, really good. So I think this deck it's very aggressive. It can combat boards, it has sustain, it can do a lot of stuff. It can get under Big Mom, like it can do a lot of things that is very dangerous. So I think that's going to be at the top of the list. And then also I'm going to talk about a couple more without a doubt cards. I think Newgate, Whitebeard's always going to be good, just because it's really it's just Newgate. Like 6K is still strong, and then like putting up that wall with like Newgate. Now I don't think it's going to be as good as it was before, because especially with people like especially with Katakuri running around, it always swings for 7, and then you either choose to like trash your life, which is you have less resources overall, or you choose to give your opponent life, which means you have a harder time killing them, and it takes you longer to kill them, so they just have more opportunities to get cards on the field. The testing that I've done with Katakuri, I've beat almost every Whitebeard except for I think I lost 1 game, and that was like when I first started playing. Now, obviously, you can lose, no doubt, but I think these are the top 4 decks of the meta. And then I'm going to put high upside as Law. Everyone knows Law is really good. Nothing's changed. Now, I don't think you're playing a single new card in the new set with Law, but it's still just a fantastic deck with a lot of annoying mechanics, and it can swarm the board. It can do a lot of really cool things, and Law is still good. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice, though. I think Luffy is probably going to be in high upside. People do not want to let that deck die. They will find a way to make it good, especially with Izo coming out as the new searcher. Like, you can play like the Whitebeard Luffy engine that they were playing in OPO2, except for maybe slightly better now. So that's going to be good. I also think high upside will be Magellan. Actually, no, I'll put Magellan at Rogue. We'll talk about that later. So another high upside will probably be Ace. Ace, I think, is really strong because it has a lot of removal, and then it can threaten lethal pretty much out of nowhere. And the fact is, like, you're not going to be able to kill a lot of the what is it called, a lot of their characters because they can just keep respawning them. Like the Marcos, like you just can't kill them, and when they drop Newgate, it's just very dangerous, especially with the events they play. They play the Seaquakes. They can kill your blockers with Marco. They can kill your big characters with Flame Emperor. There's just a lot of things that Ace can do that's really unique, and pretty much every card in his deck is a counter essentially. So a lot of sustain there, and I think it's just a good deck overall. Luffy, like I said, all that is high upside. And then we're gonna put Rogue. High upside will probably also be Nami too. There's going to be Nami's at top just because the deck is degenerate. If you play Nami, by the way, you're a degenerate. I don't care what anyone says. Alternate win conditions are bad for the game, but Nami will probably be up there too. And then Rogue, you'll probably see Magellan, Smoker, and a variant of Kid, and probably Kuro. I've played against Kuro, or not. Is his name Kuro? I played against the green leader. I'm pretty sure it's Kuro. And he seems like he can do some cool things. However, it's just not consistently good from my experience. Now, I'm definitely willing to change my opinion throughout the format on all of these decks. I could be wrong. You know, some decks could be worse, some decks could be better, and we'll evaluate it as it goes along. But from the testing that I've been doing, and then the people that I've talked to, I trust the people that I talk to. You know, they're very good at the game. They've topped Treasure Cups. They've topped case tournaments. They've just been playing the game since it came out. Like, I trust these people, along with my own opinion, to figure that out. These decks will be in a top table somewhere because, like, people are just not prepared for them. Smoker got good with the Searcher that they have, and then Isho is pretty good. You know, the Fujitora 8-drop that discards 2 cards. That's good. That's really good. They finally have another, like, Dawn Minuser that's, like, efficient, that's also a high attack, too. And it can't be Flame Emperor on its own. So I think they're going to be pretty good. I think the reason I put Magellan there is because the Jailer Beast actually got a lot better. I think the Banish is really cool, and then there's like a draw one, so like there's more potential for Jailer Beast combos, and just overall like a couple more Impel Down cards that I think are pretty good that they added. For purple, Kid, always A-Drop Kid will always be relevant. I do think A-Drop Kid is not going to be as relevant now, especially because Black got better, and then you have Ace in the meta, and then you have Yellow in the meta with Katakuri. So like Black, like A-Drop Kid is not as powerful, especially because you have like the Otama Jet Pistol too. Like, you can't forget about that. So it's not as powerful, but there's still variants that are going to be like aggressive because he has Double Strike. And I'm not sure just yet Dofi or Arlong and Dofi. Now, I did play against a guy, I couldn't remember his name, at my locals on Sunday, yeah, and he had a very cool, he played A-Drop Kid in his Arlong deck, and I think he had a really cool build, and actually was putting in a lot of work against my Katakuri deck. We didn't get to finish the game though because the tournament was starting, but it has some upside, I think, but I'm not sure where it'll fit just yet. And then Dofi, same. I've seen some videos of Dofi of like going against Katakuri, and it's doing pretty decent. And Dofi going against like Ace and things like that, and like it does decent. But until we see more representation, people playing Dofi, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to fit in the meta. But a couple things that I would like to talk about too is cards that people are playing now. I want to talk about Nami too, because my friend Alessandro, who's also one of my Patreons, I appreciate that. He is playing a variant of Nami where it's a little bit more aggressive. He's playing the Zeph and the Usopp engine, where it's like you're actually trying to attack the person's life and not the event engine. So there's 2 different builds of that. They actually play a lot differently than each other. Like, they still mill, but they bounce a lot, and then they play a little bit different. So that's something you have to kind of watch out for. What else? I was gonna say, obviously you don't have Moby Dick, so Newgate isn't nearly as good. They can't drop Moby Dick, of course. Guys, this is the meta of triggers too, by the way. So like, if you are scared, like if you're playing against Yellow or green or any one of these trigger decks that like have a ton of triggers, I would be very careful on actually attacking their like five at life, like with your leader, unless you know you have an answer for it. Like I'm not saying don't attack their life, but it seems very dangerous because I've made this mistake where I've been playing Katakuri and attacked another person's Katakuri and they just played Cracker like on first turn, like on their first turn, and then they also like play Parasparrow on their turn. So it's like they have immediate pressure and it's actually very scary. So I would be very cognizant of attacking into their life, and and just be careful playing around stuff like that. Play around Flame Emperor if you can. Sometimes you can't. Try to have a blocker or two to combat Flame Emperor's double strike ability. There's a couple things you can do with that. But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me know if you guys like this or if I forgot anything. I'll be sure to kind of add it to the next video that I'm going to do. I'm going to update this throughout the meta, probably do one like every month or something like that. But join the Discord below if you want to check out my stream later today. Remember, it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm in Florida, so let me know if you guys, I don't know. I mean, probably gonna cut that out of the video. Let me know you guys want to see any other videos, and then I'll be around. Peace.